I have not talked about the Oilers since they were eliminated from the playoffs, but it's feeling like it's about time to. But first, I feel like it's important to establish a little bit of a timeline. On the night of April 30th, the Edmonton Oilers were eliminated by the Anaheim Ducks, and McDavid does not have much good to say about this.
We were an average team all year. An average team with high expectations, you're going to be disappointed.
So the vibes are already bad in Edmonton. Bowman tried to make fixes to the team at the deadline, but McDavid still believes this team is just average. So if the roster is average, the obvious next step is to fire the coach, of course. About 2 weeks after losing in the first round, on May 14th, Chris Knoblauch is fired. Now, I don't think that Knoblauch is like the best coach in the league or something, but he took this average team to the Stanley Cup Finals twice in his first 2 years on the team. Something that McDavid and Draisaitl have not even really sniffed in their careers so far. So Bowman fires Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stewart. I feel like I just can't get away from Bowman. But it does feel like shifting the blame to someone else. I mean, McDavid took a super pay cut so that Bowman can make bigger moves and make the Oilers better. And he got Tristan Jarry, Connor Murphy, Jason Dickinson, and Colton Dock. And I love all those Hawks guys, but it definitely was not what McDavid expected when he took such a team-friendly contract. I mean, this guy just won the Lindsay and is probably going to win the Hart again, and he is only making $12.5 million a year. Quick editor's note, because literally while I was editing this video, it was announced that Kucherov won the Hart, so McDavid was very close at second, but you know what I mean. McDavid is a good player. McDavid is trying to create a winning culture on this team, but management seems to not have the same ideas of what that means. If you're enjoying these videos, please, Scott Steven, check the subscribe button if you haven't already, so this channel can get off the floor and on the board. Thank you all so much for your support so far. So with McDavid already frustrated, as of June 10th, 2026, the Oilers are now looking to sign generational asshole Mike Babcock, who hasn't coached a finals team since the 2009 Detroit Red Wings. And I get that Babcock is a rough coach who could whip players into shape, but he has been toxic and generally unsuccessful. He coached the Toronto Maple Leafs from 2015 to 2019, a stretch where they never made it past the first round. And in all recent accounts of Babcock, he's an absolute toxin to the locker room. I mean, after rumors of Edmonton hiring him came out, it only took a day or so for the NHLPA to start investigating him again. Like, the Oilers just have such bad taste in management. I mean, the Blue Jackets got rid of him before he even coached a game because of how gross his coaching practices are. Like, Mitch Marner has PTSD from how horrible Babcock was to him, to the point that Nazem Kardis wrote about it in his book. And now, a reading of Dreamer, My Life on the Edge by Nazem Kardis. The Mitch Marner story is the most well-known example of how that could blow up in Babcock's face. Mitch was just a kid that season, still trying to fit in with the group as a rookie and get his teammates to like him. Mitch is a great guy. We were both Knights alumni and got along very well. There's nothing unlikable about him. But right from the start, he faced a lot of pressure as a high draft pick, part of the promise of this new era for the team. Given that pressure, I always thought he carried himself nicely, especially as a hometown kid. It's amazing how much shit a guy can take just for being an incredibly talented player. So I wanted to make sure that he felt welcomed into the team, and to guide him in the way guys like Phil Kessel and Dion Phaneuf had done for me. The Babcock incident happened on a road trip in New Jersey. It was what we called a dad's trip, meaning our fathers were tagging along, which was special for us all. I'm sure it was an exciting time for Mitch, having his dad join us. But Babs ruined that. He stepped out of line big time when he asked Mitch to make a list of the most and least hardworking guys on the team. And he didn't mean just a few names at the top and bottom. He wanted a list from 1 to 23, all the guys on our roster. Of course, in doing something like that, you're going to have to throw some people under the bus. Mitchie was not that kind of kid. This was the last thing he'd ever do, and he wanted no part of it. Regardless, Babcock made him do it. And afterward, he showed the rankings to some players. I'm not sure if it was a large group of guys or just a few individually, but either way, guys caught wind of the list. Mitch felt terrible about it. He ended up telling us the story, almost confessing in a way. I could tell that it was eating away at him. So this acquisition is already bad vibes for the Oilers. And then today, June 11th, Darnell Nurse requests a trade from the Oilers. Now this is bittersweet for the Oilers, because I feel like they've been trying to get rid of Nurse for a while now, and he is finally waiving his no-move clause. But there are two problems that come with this. First, it just shows how bad vibes are in Edmonton. For all I knew, Nurse liked playing there. Even though people constantly hate on him for his contract, he has stuck it out, and even if he's not great, he seems like a hard-working dude. And for him to be giving up on this team is not a good signifier of the way things are going. And secondly, Stan Bowman now has to make a trade. Stan Bowman has been getting fleeced all year, and Darnell Nurse is not a desirable trade piece. The rumor is that Nurse listed the Penguins and the Kings as two teams he wanted to go to. And at this point, with Nurse's contract and skill level, Bowman will probably have to pay to give him away. Dubas has already fleeced him in that Jari trade, so I'm scared about what he will do to Bowman if he picks to trade with the Penguins. And who do you even trade for? Like Nurse and a first for Carlson? That's the problem too, is that both the Kings and the Penguins are like halfway between a playoff and a lottery team. And Nurse isn't an upgrade unless you trade a third liner. Maybe Nurse and a first for Mikey Anderson. I cannot see the Kings taking a downgrade right now. They just made that big Panarin trade and are looking to break through the first round. So I honestly do think that it goes to the Penguins. I do believe that Nurse could succeed in a different environment. And the Penguins have a lot of cap space too, so he wouldn't hurt them that bad. Dan Muse is one of my favorite coaches in the league, and he took a dire Penguins roster to the playoffs. So who says he couldn't unlock Darnell Nurse? But what would you even trade for him? Penguins fans, Kings fans, Oilers fans, Kraken fans, whatever type of fan you are, let me know what you think in the comments, because I don't even know what to make of this situation. Thank you all so much for watching. Like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more.